Hello, welcome back. I've wasted, quote unquote wasted. I try not to mentally tell myself I'm actually wasting time anymore, but I wasted some time. I fucked around and didn't find out. There wasn't much produced, but that's okay. I was trying to mess around with some stuff for the potential dance summary videos, and it just wasn't working out, and then I got super sleepy, I think because my meds wore off a bit, and also because I was up studying yesterday. I think a lot of people do this, but to my parents it seems like a unnecessary, why do you do it type of thing. Late night studying is what I'm talking about. I'm all over the place because I'm still super sleepy, right? But I really just wanted to do a video because I think I have this issue and, okay, oh god, I'm all over the place. Okay, so I have this issue where if I just kind of stop doing something that I wanted to be a little bit consistent with for a little bit extended of a period of time, I just stop doing it, until the motivation really hits. And you can probably tell I'm zoning out a lot. Okay, so that was the first point, and then the second point was that what was the second point? Moment of power nap with me. Okay, come on. Oh, yeah. The second point was just that I really want to my thing is if I've been super busy and there's nothing else that I can do other than one thing for this channel, it's one, yap very imperfectly as always, very smoothly occurs, in terms of imperfection. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. The art is so pretty, and I really want to use it as the background, but the iPad camera isn't good enough for it. But the phone camera on the reverse side is. But then I use the phone for the mic mostly. It's fine. So anyways, I was trying to say that if there's nothing else that I could do, I'd rather just read a chapter of the Mahabharata and do the recording and just post it, because it's not that difficult to put that together really quickly. The only thing is I keep wanting to have a nice background or something, or I'll get really, I don't know if that's getting picked up by the mic, but my mom is beating the fuck out of something. It's probably a lime. I also got so hungry. I was gonna give up. I was gonna just go to bed, eat something and go to bed. But here I am, doing God knows what. But I'm doing something. I learned a cool new word earlier. I forget what it was now, but what was it? No. Oh. Yeah. I was working on my partner's birthday present. Their birthday is coming up. I will not say anything about when it is. I'm just gonna say it's coming up. You don't know if it's this month or next month or the month after that. It's just coming up. Maybe I'm proactive. Maybe I'm a procrastinator. Maybe it was last month. How would you know? Ooh, safety, security. Even though there's No, it's fine. Okay, book, birthday present. I was working on birthday present. I don't know what I wanted to say about it. I was working on it. It'll come back to me. But I want to keep putting out the chapters, because that's like something that it's like this channel is for me as like a thing that I can just do, because why not? And it's also like a interesting, because can share with world, but it's also something that I get to do creatively or spontaneously and randomly, that kind of helps with the long distance in my relationship right now. So I think part of why I'm super tired today is I've been really missing my person a lot today. Like a lot. It's just been really hitting. And it's not that it doesn't hit often, but it's been really hitting today. And I do get to see them soon enough for my best friend's wedding, pre-wedding, wedding, pre-wedding, wedding, if that made sense. But I made some gifts for that too, that I'm not gonna explain much detail about in case she sees this, though I doubt I don't know, we'll see, it's fine. But this is like the chapters or something that, like, if I was able to in person, I would read to my person. And I can't. So it's nice to be able to do this at least. And because it's so unedited and like stupid seeming at times, not stupid, but like, you know, this, that I think, they've been enjoying it. So yeah, it's just nice. And like, he always wants to watch the video like with me, so I'll just be like kind of half asleep and he's like chuckling at something, I don't know. And then like sometimes I feel like something that's been happening with some of these videos is I'll zone out, and it's like specifically because like a random person in my past, like life and everything, pops into my mind. Like it could be someone that I've never spoken to, but I just like have seen at school, in grade school, or like just some random, I don't know, random people that I'm like, this person could watch this, or I'll be like, this, your like great grand dog could watch this. Like, and it doesn't, it just like, like, I guess I pause because it's just like, it's an interesting thing to have popped into my head, so I'll just be like, and it's also like, I just have to let it go too, because sometimes it's like, sometimes it kind of makes me a little anxious, in the moment. I'll be like, man, what if they just watch this like out of context, and I'm just yapping and they're like, what? But I also like, I feel like I say this every video, and I guess that's part of the, I don't know, I don't want to not address I was trying to think of something entertaining for an alternative to like elephant in the room, but it's also not even like, it's not the elephant in the room. Like, it's not like most YouTube videos aren't people talking to themselves / the audience in their bedrooms and basements and corners of the house and stuff, but I guess it's just like, I don't even know. I don't know. It's interesting. Neurology, interesting. I don't know. Okay. I feel like I've been going on for, 10 minutes. 10 minutes and I haven't even started reading. I don't know. If, to the people that do watch this and these things, thanks. Thanks for watching. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. I don't know what that's from. Brain's not working right now. But, I don't know. I feel like saying the PBS, like, thanks for watching. PBS from viewers like you, from viewers like you, thank you. No, for viewers. From PBS, thanks. This channel, this show is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna start reading because I think I don't want to piss anyone off out there with the level of glitchery going on right now. Okay. That's fine. You know, you can play this on ×2 speed and ×3 if you have, like, premium, I think. I'm making a lot of noise. I'm gonna put the phone down, find the chapter. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like I need to, like, I'm feeling the compulsion to say something that makes up for the fact that it's been 12 minutes and 18 seconds and I still haven't started the actual reading. But at the same time, I then think of, like, 60-year-old me, if I am graced enough with that much time. I think of me then watching this now and being like, oh, ho, ho, ho. It's just silly, ho, ho. Oh, silly me, you know. Oh, you know, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's fine, because I made the elderly happy. Isn't that a good thing? And then I also think of my person watching it, like, right now. And, you know, I don't mind the... what am I saying? Every time I am the slightest bit expressive and over more than, like, 1 decibel, my voice echoes through this room, and I feel so much more odd, especially because my entire family just, like, awake and bustling about upstairs right now. I don't know. I'm just saying things. I'm gonna start reading now, though. But if anything comes out of all of this to my person, if it had not been on this video, it probably would have been to you on FaceTime, like 5 minutes from when I wouldn't have been recording this. So there's that. Finding a story. I completely forgot I was recording while I was looking for the page. Like, for half a second, I just really zoned into finding the chapter and where I was in the story and things like that. And I just, like, I just completely forgot. But that's okay, because we're here now. I'll even scoot a little closer. That's enough now. Goodness gracious. Did I just... No, I didn't. I was talking about my knees. Would have got me shot in the 1920s. Potentially. Among other things about me. Anyways, I'm just gonna turn on the flashlight, because, like, why not? How bad could it look in the video? How bad could it look? 16 minutes and now I'm finally starting. I'm gonna say I should never do this again while I'm, like, sleepy, but at the same time, I know I'm gonna, so this is just what you're signing up for. This just happens to be on the internet because that's where storage is free. I guess. Sort of. Chapter 3. Amba and Bhishma. And this was one I had things to say about. At least I'll be less heated about it. Chitrangada, the son of Satyavati, was killed in battle with a Gandharva. As he died childless, his brother, Vichitravirya, was the rightful heir and was duly crowned king. And, as he was a minor, I'm trying to strike a chord, but it's probably minor. Bhishma governed the kingdom in his name till he came of age. When Vichitravirya reached adolescence, Bhishma cast about for a bride for him, and as he heard that the daughters of the king of Kasi were to choose their husbands according to the ancient Kshatriya practice, he went there to secure them for his brother. The rulers of Kosla, Vanga, Pundra, Kalinga, and other princes and potentates, other princes and blah 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 had also repaired to Kasi for the Swayamvara, attired in their best. The princesses were so far famed for beauty and accomplishments that there was a fierce competition to win them. Bhishma was famous among the Kshatriyas as a mighty man at arms. At first, everyone thought that the redoubtable hero had come merely to witness the festivities of the Swayamvara. But when they found he was also a suitor, the young princes felt themselves let down and were full of chagrin. They did not know that he had really come for the sake of his brother Vichitravirya. The princes began to cast affronts at Bhishma. This most excellent and wise descendant of the Bharata race forgets that he is too old, and forgets also his vow of celibacy. What has this old man to do with the Swayamvara? Fie on him! The princesses, who were to choose their husbands, barely glanced at the old man and looked away. Bhishma's wrath flamed up. He challenged the assembled princes to a trial of their manhood and defeated them all. And let me just check if the video is still going real quick. I'm so sorry. We are good. Okay, I'm assuming that I have now cut forward because I scooted forward to check if it was still going. And then I scooted backwards and then my knee was out. And back to the story. Oh no, knee. Oh knee. Taking the 3 princes in his chariot, he set out for Hastinapura. But before he had gone far, Salva, the king of the Saubala country, who was attached to Amba, intercepted and opposed him. For that princess had mentally chosen Salva as her husband. After a bitter fight, Salva was worsted, and no wonder, as Bhishma was a peerless bowman, but at the request of the princesses, Bhishma spared his life. Arriving in Hastinapura with the princesses, Bhishma made preparations for their marriage to Vichitravirya. When all were assembled for the marriage, Amba smiled mockingly at Bhishma and addressed him as follows. O son of Ganga, you are aware of what is enjoined in the scriptures. I have mentally chosen Salva, the king of Saubala, as my husband. You have brought me here by force. Knowing this, do what you do. Do what you, learned in the scriptures, should do. Bhishma admitted the force of her objection and sent her to Salva with proper escort. The marriage of Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 younger sisters, with Vichitravirya was duly solemnized. Amba went rejoicing to Salva and told him what had happened. I have mentally chosen you as my husband from the very start. Bhishma has sent me to you. Marry me accordingly to the Sastras. Salva replied, Bhishma has defeated me in sight of all and carried you away. I have been disgraced, so I cannot receive you now as my wife. Return to him and do as he commands. With these words, Salva sent her back to Bhishma. Sorry, so many mistakes. My nose is itchy. She returned to Hastinapura and told Bhishma of what had taken place. The grandsire tried to induce Vichitravirya to marry her, but Vichitravirya roundly refused to marry a maiden whose heart had already been given to another. Amba then turned to Bhishma and besought him to marry her himself, as there was no other recourse. It was impossible for Bhishma to break his vow, sorry as he was for Amba, and after some vain attempts to make Vichitravirya change his mind, he told her that there was no way left for her to go but to go again to Salva and seek to persuade him. This at first she was too proud to do, and for long years she abode in Hastinapura. Finally, in sheer desperation, she went to Salva and found him adamant in refusal. The lotus-eyed Amba spent 6 bitter years in sorrow and baffled hope, and her heart was seared with suffering, and all the sweetness in her turned to gall and fierce hatred towards Bhishma as the cause for her blighted life. She sought in vain for a champion amongst the princes to fight and kill Bhishma and thus avenge her wrongs. But even the foremost warriors were afraid of Bhishma and paid no heed to her appeal. At last she resorted to hard austerities to get the grace of Lord Subramanya. He graciously appeared before her and gave her a garland of ever-fresh lotuses, saying that the wearer of the garland would become the enemy of Bhishma. Amba took the garland and again besought every kshatriya to accept the garland gift of the 6-faced Lord and to champion her cause. But no one had the hardihood to antagonize Bhishma. Finally, she went to King Drupada, who also refused to grant her prayer. She then hung the garland at Drupada's palace gate and went away to the forest. Some ascetics, whom she met there, and to whom she told her sorrowful tale, advised her to go to Parasurama as her suppliant. She followed their advice. On hearing her sad story, Parasurama was moved with compassion and said, Dear child, what do you want? I can ask Selva to marry you if you wish." Amba said, "No, I do not wish it. I no longer desire marriage or home or happiness. There is now but one thing in life for me, revenge on Bhishma. The only boon I seek is the death of Bhishma." Parasurama, moved as much by her anguish as by his abiding hatred of the Kshatriya race, espoused her cause and fought with Bhishma. It was a long and equal combat between the two greatest men-at-arms of the age, but in the end, Parasurama had to acknowledge defeat. He told Amba, "I have done all I can, all that I could, and I have failed. Throw yourself at the mercy of Bhishma. That is the only course left to you." Consumed with grief and rage, and kept alive only by the passion for revenge, Amba went to the Himalayas and practiced rigorous austerities to get the grace of Shiva. Now all human aid had failed her. Shiva appeared before her and granted her a boon, that in her next birth she would slay Bhishma. Amba was impatient for that rebirth, which would give her her heart's desire. She made a pyre and plunged into the fire, bars, respectfully, pouring out the flame in her heart into the scarcely hotter blaze of the pyre. By the grace of Lord Shiva, Amba was born as the daughter of King Drupada. A few years after her birth, she saw the garland of never-fading flowers that still hung at the palace gate and had remained there untouched by anyone through fear. She put it round her neck. Her father Drupada was in consternation at her temerity, which he feared would draw on his head the wrath of Bhishma. He sent his daughter in exile out of the capital to the forest. She practiced austerities in the forest and in time was transformed into a male and became known as the warrior Sikandin. With Sikandin as his charioteer, Arjuna attacked Bhishma on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhishma knew that Sikandin. I'll check after this. I'm already at the end of the chapter. Sikandin was born as female, and true to his code of chivalry, he would not fight him under any circumstance. So it was that Arjuna could fight screened by Sikandin and conquer Bhishma, especially because Bhishma knew that his long and weary probation on earth was finished and consented to be vanquished. As the arrows struck Bhishma in his last fight, he singled out those which had pierced him deepest and said, "This is Arjuna's arrow, not Sikandin's." And so fell this great warrior. The mildest bit disrespectful. That was kind of rude to Sikandin. If I read that right, I don't know. Okay, so really quickly, 28 minutes. Let me check once more if it's still recording. Yep, we're good. Oh my god, I got my COVID shot. My arm is sore. Okay. So, basically, this is the first disrespect of woman's voice story that we see in the Mahabharata, which is, there's a lot of them, you know? But in this one, there are 3 sisters, and Bhishma just yoinks them all from a princess winning for marriage competition in the name of Vichitravirya, who was the remaining step brother, basically, of him. Younger brother. Wait, no. Not brother, wait. Yeah, stepbrother. Yeah, stepbrother. Yes, what am I talking about? Yes, I am. Right? Yeah. Okay, so because of that, you know, he's kind of insulted everyone by yoinking the princesses, like all the other men that were there for the princesses. And then once they arrive at their own home court, Amba, the oldest of the sisters, is like, I already gave my heart away to a man named Salva of Saubala, and like, what you doing napping me and bringing me here? And he says, fine, you can go back, because she kind of threatens him with the, like, well, unspokenly, you know, without pointing out that he's vowed to be celibate. She's like, what you gonna do now, huh? You're the one that brought me here. Are you gonna, like, and he's like, just go back to Salva of Salvador. And she goes back, and he doesn't want her, because he's like a little piss baby, and is like, no, he defeated me in front of everyone. So Amba goes back heartbroken, because she's like, what am I gonna do now? Who is gonna want me? And Vichitra Vidya was like, well, you know, she didn't want me first, so why would I marry her? She already gave her heart away to Salva of Salbala, so I don't want her either. And she asks Bhishma. Bhishma's like, nope, I can't break my vow. And, you know, it's just like an inconvenient, so much stomping around upstairs. What? They haven't watched any of these. My immediate family. A few cousins might have. I don't really check up with anyone other than my partner on like who, like the few people that I've provided access to this, and with the knowledge that I am who I am. And I just haven't really been ready to like show my immediate family, because I feel a little silly. And I would like to eventually, you know, life is short. Everything's, you know, sort of like a why not, right? But yeah, right now it just feels a little bit like I'd just be pouring hyperfixation and just, I don't know. It's fine, let me finish explaining this. I don't even remember where I was. I got so anxious. And not even anxious, just embarrassed, sort of. I don't know what he, like, goes back upstairs to and says, oh yeah, she's just down there. Like, okay. So anyways, poor Amba, she's, like, got no one who empathizes with her enough to care and do something to help her in her situation. You know, at a time where, like, it's kind of like she doesn't have anything to her name other than these little friggin' strips of things are so pretty. Things. But yeah, I think it's interesting that this whole epic starts off with a story like that, because a tale as old as time, right? Yeah, and Bhishma was just like, yep, I can just walk in here and do all this and decide things, and, you know, like, it's not something that I think is necessarily, I don't know how much it's super discussed, you know. I'm still, like, new to this myself in a lot of ways, like, in terms of this level of detail especially, and these are just, like, I'm, like, as I'm reading these and I point out things, it's more, like, my own observations that, like, kind of struck out see, like, the stuck out? Yeah, stuck out to me, like, as I was going through this, But yeah, I think we see a lot of people like Bhishma that their loyalty lies in tradition and like the tie between tradition and God, and that over the voices of the people around them, I mean, this is like, if I look back at this family tree, right, like, this is someone who his stepbrother, basically brother, like, as close as a brother, a younger brother, who he's finding wives for, if we think about it in the context of, like, what we see as relationships in our lives. You're finding wives for your brothers, and, like, this is the method and the force, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of sad. Like, I think about, again, like, it's a lot of these things of, like, count your blessings in some ways, and I think about my own relationship and the place that I live in and stuff, the freedom of yapathon and the freedom to even fight for a relationship and have something afterwards. Like, I don't know, it maybe for another time, but like in like, I guess just what I'm trying to say is it's like, I think it's easy to forget how much we've had to fight to get to the point that we are in this world, in terms of the ability to value both individuality and whatever it is that we care about in our lives, whether it's people or things or hobbies, skills, careers. There's a lot of choices that we have now, and I think people don't realize that not only was it fewer choices before for the common man, but also even fewer for the common woman. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people today always, like, it got so quiet, the AC turned off. I don't think a lot of people today always think about that, and realize that that is, like, a privilege, and it's something that you need to protect, because when you don't put things down in legislation or writing or, these rights that we decide we want to emphasize, teach our children that it's important to have this type of a choice, it can go away as quickly as it was once a thing. And people think that just because the internet exists, that can't happen. But it's happening right in front of our eyes, just because data can be saved in a lot more, like, I don't know, broad spectrum ways than before, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't, just with this overwhelm of information that we have, go through a few years of craziness and come out on the other side with things having gone back 10-15 years in the, certain kinds of progress and, even, like, social norms, right? Like, thinking about the way COVID's impacted a lot of the ways people socialize and the comfort with being outside and in public places for a lot of people. Like, outside of overstim, I mean just, like, social comfort. I can get overstimulated by being in a loud Walmart, but there's a difference between that being, like, the loudness of the squeaky carts being the issue and the fact that there's a bunch of people around you being the issue, like that agoraphobic thing that a lot of people have now. At least that's what I feel like I see. But, I mean, where was I going with this? My point is that yeah, with this chapter, that's all. I just wanted to say that it starts off with a lack of choice and freedom, which sucks, you know, and she literally kills herself. Can I say that here? I think I can. I didn't. The whole mark not for kids, I don't know. We'll find out. But, you know, just to speed up her revenge, that's a lot of pain for someone to be in, you know? Yeah, and there's so much more in these stories, too. I was just eyeballing the next chapter. It's more women that are not taken seriously and taken for granted. So, you know, apparently if you have tits, it's easy to not take you seriously. I don't know, I was looking for like a joke to make in there, but there isn't much of a joke about it. I think that is the joke. If you have tits, you shan't be taken seriously. It's like a wizarding spell. The titular spell. Okay, I'm gonna stop this now. Almost 45 minutes. Hitting the length of the previous videos. I hope it's still freaking recording. Alright, I love you guys. Get some rest. I know I will spend time with your loved ones and your lovers. Life is short. Peace.